Hey there, adventurers, and welcome back to War Games News Radio for a very special preview and unboxing where we're doing something a little bit different than we normally do on these videos. Instead of looking at a new Fallout Wasteland Warfare product that's been released by Modiphius, we're taking a look at some new Call to Arms minis. This is super exciting because the gang over at Modiphius are getting ready to launch Chapter 3 for Call to Arms, Dawnguard. Now, this happens to be my favorite expansion in all of Skyrim, the video game, and I have a feeling that's probably going to translate here to the tabletop as well, because Modiphius have provided us with two of the core boxes here to take a look at to preview to you folks of the Dawnguard themselves and their vampire nemesis. These models are on pre-order now, so if you want to secure your copies, then go on over to the Modiphius web store. But before you go and buy those, let's take a look at them here so you can have a preview of what to expect when you do throw down on these models. Let's bust them open and take a look. Let's take a look at the Dawnguard first. This is the faction that I'm the most excited about. I'm a vampire hunter through and through. Love to use that sunshine magic. So let's bust these open and see what we're dealing with. We've got 5 models in this core set, ranging from your standard soldiers all the way up to one badass armored troll. So let's see what we're dealing with. The first bag here looks to be, yes, our Dawnguard soldiers. Now these have a really cool look to it. That Dawnguard armor was probably what drew me to this faction right away when this expansion was launched. We've got 3 different unique sculpts here, which are just amazing looking here. All 3 of them are equipped with shields, or can be equipped with shields, which is pretty cool to see. And one of them even has that wicked heavy Dawnguard helmet. That might be a new player character for me in future campaigns, because man, I just love the look of that armor. Swinging an axe and a steel shield, can't go wrong. Now the detail on these sculpts are just amazing. The Modiphius team just keeps getting better and better when it comes to these sculpts. The bases themselves have a good level of detail. This one here in particular is really cool. We can see we've got some chains, some skulls. Looks like to be very vampire dungeony. Love that look. The other 2 are pretty standard, but still have a good look to it compared to, you know, your basic flat black bases that you'll get for other games. Can't complain with any of that there. Good looking detail all the way around. Really excited to get these built. A lot easier than the plastic starter set by the looks of things. Those Bleak Falls Barrow minis were a pain, but that looks to be solved with these most recent resin versions. Let's take a look here at the second pack. Here we've got Isran himself, leader of the Dawnguard. Wow, what an awesome look. As a bald dude with a beard, maybe this will have to be my player model instead, because it's got a bit of the right look to be a Ryan Danger player character. And then we've got his scenic base, which has what looks to be, again, part of a very vampiric looking dungeon. So that's pretty on theme. And then we've got a sprue full of shields. That's pretty cool. 2 of which have the arms already pre-assembled to go onto their Dawnguard companions, and the other, it must be for this guy here. So it looks like you could potentially opt not to give him a shield, or drop the shield on a different mini if you were so inclined. So a little bit of kit bashing possibilities with these as well. Now looking on to the weapon sprues, yeah, here we go. This is the good stuff. We've got hand axes, or light axes, I guess I should say, and then we've got one big old warhammer, and that's going to be Isran's weapon of choice there, as well as his looks like sun magic fireball sort of situation coming out of his hand here. So yeah, these axes are absolutely deadly looking. Really cool to see those. Stoked to get some of these Dawnguard put together here and kit them out. I guess you could also use them as sort of more generic hold guards and or like bandits, that sort of thing as well, which we should be seeing the bandit cards coming out here in Chapter 3 as well. So you could proxy these. So yeah, a couple different possibilities here. You could play them as standard Dawnguard, or of course you could use them a little bit differently. But then we get to the big boy, and that's the troll, coming in on a 40mm base, also with some dungeony goodness all over it. There is the armored troll. Was such a huge fan of getting to use these in Skyrim. After I installed the DLC, I got a mod where you could have like 4 or 5 different followers, so I had an army of trolls and dogs and all kinds of Dawnguard-y goodness. But yeah, you can see here, different than the standard troll, you've got the armor plating all across him here, the big armor on the arms in particular, these sort of bladed gauntlets equipped onto him as well. This is going to be such a fun model to put together and paint. Love the detail. The 3-eyed troll, that's so cool. That's so cool. These arms are looking nasty with these blades. And then again, that base just has a really cool level of detail on it there as well. Very much looking forward to getting this guy put together. That's going to be a pretty nasty adversary. Speaking of adversaries, let's get all these packed up and let's take a look at the Dawnguard's nemesis, the Volcaire Vampires. It's Morbin time. Let's take a look at these vampires. So we've got 6 models here compared to the 5 that come in the Dawnguard, but it's actually 2 different versions of the same model. So the Hakon model here has his standard humanoid type form and then his vampire master form. So I'm not sure yet if you can use both of these at the same time. We'll have to do a review when those chapter 3 card packs drop in August. First things first, let's just go ahead and start with what everyone I'm sure wants to see, and that's the vampire master / vampire lord. So wow, look at that base. It's got a whole sort of vampiric altar on it. That is so cool. This might be one of the cooler, if not the coolest, base from Modiphius that I've seen yet. That's really awesome. That's really cool. I'm loving the detail on that. What an awesome display. And then you've got the model itself, which, man, oh man, look at those weird wings, the cape, the body of this thing. He's huge. He's easily the size of a like a super mutant from Wasteland Warfare, and only a little bit smaller than the troll. So yeah, that's going to be a pretty impressive and imposing figure standing on this massive base here as well. This is going to be a 40 millimeter around, but man, it's pretty high, pretty chunky with that altar on it. So yeah, that's going to be a pretty imposing figure once we get him all put together. Cannot wait to see what kind of superpowers this thing's got, because yeah, it's going to be a very interesting, I think, unit to have on the board. That might be the big guy, but we still have tons of other units here left to go. Looks like 3 standard vampires, which these are not here. These are our character units, which are Hakon here with his leeching sort of samurai katana style blade. Curious to see what the rules for that are going to be. And then who do we have here? Is this oh no, you know what? I thought Serena would be included. Oops. Huh. Well, that resin looks a little soft. Whoever this is, his mace just came flying right apart in 2 pieces. So, not so stoked about that, but we'll get it put back together one way or another. I guess that's what super glue is for, but too bad it couldn't even survive just a light touch there with the finger. But who is this, in fact? This is Orfjolf? No idea. I don't remember my vampires all that well from Dawnguard. Figured that maybe Serena would be in here because she is a fan favorite, but I think we've actually seen her already in one of the other expansions that's going to be coming out part of the Dawnguard wave. So, sucks that his mace is now busted. That's going to be a pain in the ass to put back together, but oh well, such is the life. Hakon, on the other hand, looks to be in good shape. We have 3, count them, 3 vampire warriors, which lots of different poses going on here. Very cool, actually. A lot of different looks, a lot of different dynamic poses and posing as well. One of them looks to be hacking this axe mid-swing. Only 1 weapon option for each of these units, and they are all steel axes, but Call to Arms is not a WYSIWYG game, so of course feel free to kit them out however you'd like when the Chapter 3 cards do come out, or you could use some hobbying skills and replace these weapons easy enough, like I'll probably have to do with this mace here. Really like the bases for these vampires as well. They've got some macabre details like skulls and whatnot, but they also have this sort of runic tapestry sort of thing going on carved with them as well, kind of like the inner sanctum of the vampire's palace. Curious to see how I'm going to paint all of these up. Maybe I'll stick with a classic black and red, maybe I'll do some more black and grays, but the Vampire Master really takes the cake when it comes to the models released for this wave so far. Really stoked to get this one put together. All kinds of flaming arm details and wings and capes, and yeah, that altar alone is going to be a blast to paint. So really excited to get these put together. And while I was most excited for the Dawnguard, seeing these vampire models now has me pretty jazzed to get these put together. So definitely expect to see some Dawnguard and Vampires showing up in the next season of Skyrim Sundays, which I believe we'll have coming out in August if I can get all of my ducks in a row behind the scenes here. If you want to check out all 6 episodes of our first Skyrim Sundays campaign, then check out the playlist and the link popping up here. And there we go, our first look at the Dawnguard expansion for Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. Now, the Chapter 3 card pack won't be coming out until August, but these models, as mentioned, are on pre-order now. Really excited to get more Elder Scrolls Call to Arms content here on the channel, and we've got that new season of Skyrim Sundays coming out in August. As mentioned, if you haven't checked out our previous series, and there's 6 episodes for you to catch up on, and what are you waiting for? It's probably the hidden gem here on the channel that not a lot of folks know about, but do yourself a favor, go and check those out. Hit that like button and that subscribe, all of that good YouTube-y nonsense, and make sure to stay tuned when we've got more videos coming your way. If you want to see more preview content, then check out the link here for the most recent Fallout Wasteland Warfare unboxing video, where I take a look at the new Mr. Handy and Deathclaw Matriarch boxes for the Commonwealth wave, which are coming out in August. So go check those out. Head on over to the Modifius web store. Do yourself a favor, pick up some new minis. And stay tuned because, as always, WGNR will be back.